Allah, in the name of Him, the most beneficent, the most merciful. My name is Gabriel Morton, and I present worldwide philosophical program today. This program number is 66. I have knowledge, and this knowledge is the truth behind our observation in the world. In the philosophy of the gabrielism, our cosmos is one of infinite cosmoses in the world. So I believe to the world of the worlds, or world of multiverses, and we have to find a new word. I just can say that our cosmos is similar a ship in a great oceans. Also, infinite number of the ships exist inside this ocean. We say after this the ocean of the multiverses, or the world of multiverses, or even if we have to find another word for this knowledge. Based on the philosophy of the gabrielism, if the Lord of the time, or Imam Zaman, or the Lord of the time, or the leader of the time, or manager of the time, or the owner of the time, if the Lord of the time get on the board of this cosmos, immediately this ship start to move toward the source of the universe, or as we define later, God. God is the source of this ocean, or maybe a lot of other oceans exist. Ocean full of trillion or infinite number of multiverses. So we are so small. I have mission for all of the humankind, and one of these mission is to help the Lord of the time to get on the board. My mission has two appearances for all of the human beings, 8 billion people who live nowadays on earth. That is my greatest pleasure to inform you. So I appreciate all of the broadcasters and anybody who sent my voice for you in every media, country, company, etc., etc., etc. We live in one of the cosmos that we have, and that is the total beings. So, that is so much sophisticated knowledge, and at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, at the time of the Prophet Moses, peace upon him, and at the time of the Jesus, that was not possible for people to understand this sophisticated knowledge, this complicated truth. So this is my mission, to explain for you this knowledge. My mission has two faces, or has two appearances. The spiritual appearance is to help the Lord of the time to get on the board. And the physical appearance for all of the human being is beauty, beauty of the face, and beauty of the body for all of the peoples who live on earth, especially for women. During the history, the psychological conditions or mentality of the human being evolved or changed or transformed. At the time of the Alexander the Great, even 1 century or 2 centuries before this time that I am talking for you, all of the desire for men was to conquer and dominate over other lands. But why they attack to different countries and what they want? If you ask from Alexander the Great, what is your philosophy of their life? And many other conquerors and kings and rulers in the world, if you ask them what you want from life, they want more lands to access to more resource and gather more wealth, but that was not final. That was not final aim for these men in the history. They wanted to reach more beautiful girls. So more access to more vagina, or in other words, more access to more beautiful women, more access to more beautiful girls, and briefly, sexual pleasure, that was the aim of the most rulers in the history. However, during the time and during the history, the priority for men transformed and got evolution, but nowadays is the same somehow. People, especially men, want to be president, want to be ruler, want to be king or leader in their own country. Mostly they want to have enough power and resource and wealth to get the approval by women, especially beautiful women, models, and idols. So this competition between men during the history from the beginning, at the time of Habil and Qabil, or Abel and Cain, that was the enmity against the God. They believed these enemies of the God who killed other people and dominate over their lands, women, and children. These enemies of the God excused religions to conquer other nations and dominate over their properties, lands, especially for women, and just for more dopamine, for more pleasure for life. So somehow that is the same nowadays in many countries, especially in the retarded, backwarded countries like Iran, Afghanistan, mostly Muslim societies. They want more pleasure by women, so they want to get more wealth, etc., etc., etc. So sexual pleasure and vagina governing over the world and governing over the countries. However, that is not obvious, that is subconscious. Anybody, especially any man who come into to the politics, mostly they want more women and or more improvement by women, and they are jealous to possess, or they are jealous about each other and compete with other men just because of sexual pleasure. And you will see in the most of the countries that is the same, somehow the same. The more civilized in Europe, they got far from this mentality. So you see, the mentality of the people and psychology of the people during the history got evolutionized, and you see more human values in other civilized countries. Anybody, most of the people, many noble politicians want just to serve to their own nation and country and make better life for everybody in the world. They are rare and they are noble politicians. But what is this? How much this is related to my mission? My mission is to make beauty for all of the nations, all of the peoples in the world, especially for women, by the philosophy of the gabrielism and science that will you, as a scientist, extract from the philosophy of the gabrielism. This will lead to the knowledge and science that make that possible to make artificial beauty or natural beauty for all of the women in the world, especially the beauty on face and about the body. So if you see, the psycho of the most of the people, especially men, got diseased by watching porn videos. They wish if they had enough money to access this beautiful woman to get more sexual pleasure. And that is very, very great problem in the world that would never let human being get rid of its own selfishness to make the correct thing inside their own country and behave appropriately based on equality in the international relationship. So that is very, very, very important. I have mission. My mission has to face an appearance that go parallel together. In the dimension that most of the people, I can say all of the people can't see, I am fighting in other dimensions to put the Lord of the time on the board, and immediately if I be successful to do this, immediately the cosmos start physical movement to the source. But I don't want to make any worry for you unless that if you want to kill the Lord of the time, if you want to kill Imam Zaman, you will see the angeriness of the Almighty Allah that will smash all of the earth more difficult and hard and severe than the storm of Noah. So I am serious. I want to say that I have mission and I am progressing in the parallel line. One line that you would visit, that is publish my knowledge in all of the countries. This knowledge will lead to new physical device and new non-physical approach for human beings to practice that. This will make changes in the face of the human beings, so everybody will be beautiful. If you don't have beautiful wife, don't be unhappy about that. By science and technology, especially will originated from the philosophy of the gabrielism, you will make the face of your wife so much delightful and beautiful for yourself, so you don't have to fight with other men like the animals you see between cow and sheep. They fight to each other to access woman for themselves. So if you live and if you separate this satanic instinct from yourself, the philosophy of the gabrielism will help you to make more young and more beautiful, and I am not bluffing. And this is beside all of the physical way, like the plastic surgeries that you will do for yourself and your wife to have a beautiful family in the face and about body. So this is my mission. So I am go in one line, but I will affect two words. One is physical world that I make changes inside that, but beside these physical changes in the world, there is another word that you can't observe, but that is helping to the Lord of the time to get on the board. So I want to recommend you to believe me, and I am serious, and I want best for all of the nations and all of the country. But I want to review what happened during the history and what was the second war against God. The first war against God, that was by Satan or evil or Lucifer. The second war, that was disobedience by Adam and eat that apple or whatever that was. And the third, declaring war against God, happened by Cain or Qabil. Cain or Qabil, if you review Islamic resources and Christian resources, I don't know about Jewish resources, in these holy books, Cain or Qabil killed his own brother, his own bloody brother, just because of the jealousy about having more beautiful woman. So, if you see nowadays, it's the same. Most of the people got poisoning themselves by watching pornographies and watching the naked girls in the internet, and wish in their own consciousness they wish to access to these girls to make physical sexual relationship, to have more pleasure, and this is the kingdom of the dopamine who is governing nowadays in the worldwide society. Jealousy and competition to access more money to prepare luxurious life, that is because they want to have models and beautiful girls. So this is the total disaster that is a great obstacle for us to make justice and happiness for all of the nations and all of the countries. Philosophy of the gabrielism want to make these orders inside our world and make it to the order, justice for all. When Cain or Gabil attacked and killed his innocent brother, he declared war against God and wanted to say to the God, you are not a God based on justice, and you are not creator of the justice, or you made the world that is not working based on justice. So I want to kill my own brother to access whatever I can and obtain by my own power. And that was the declarement war against the God. So Qabil or Cain did this wrong, and this wrong behavior continued during the history. Kings, rulers, invaders attacked to other lands to dominate over there, but the final desire was to have more pleasure from sexual relationship. About Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, nowadays people, they are jealous even about Muhammad, who married with a teenager girl. They forgot at the time that Muhammad, peace upon him, married with a 40 years old woman who was not so much beautiful in face. And before Muhammad declared Islam and claimed that he is the prophet and messenger by Almighty God, Almighty Allah, a lot of great politicians those times came to the Muhammad and said to the Muhammad, what you want? If you want sexual pleasure, we give you 10 of the best sexy girls in our city, or even in total Saudi Arabia those times. We will give you 10 beautiful girls to have enough pleasure, plus whatever else you want, a lot of money, jewelry, treasures, we will give you. Just stop your invitation for God, because that will ruin all of our goodness of the life that we prepared for ourselves. You will do everything that will ruin our pleasures and our wealth. But Muhammad refused, because he was truly the messenger of Allah, and he chose maybe 15 years, 20 years of the sanctions and hardship of the life, just because publish the truth for all of the human beings. I just want to say that the mission of Imam Zaman, or the mission of the Lord of the time, is to make justice between 8 billion people in the world. The Lord of the time, or Imam Zaman, has knowledge. This knowledge will give you techniques and physical device about making all of the nations and all of the peoples beautiful, solely by the science that will present by Lord of the time, that I am waiting to go to Europe and publish this knowledge and science for all of the nations, and make a competition based on justice for all of the nations. So I need live program to explain for you the knowledge, the divine knowledge of the Lord of the time, or Imam Zaman, for all of the 8 billion people, how they change their own faces and how they live happily with their own wife and don't try to change this wife to another. They have to do a lot of satanic and evil deeds and misdeeds to get more money, cheat other people, gather more money to access more beautiful life. Whatever that will be present by Imam Zaman or the Lord of the time, whatever he present to earth will lead to a stable family in all of the societies. So the divorce will be over after publishing the knowledge of the Lord of the time that I am trying to do this inside Europe. Everybody, about 4 billion men who live on earth, they have right to have beautiful wife, beautiful life, and acceptable, beautiful house and car. But we have selfish people in the world. They want everything just for themselves, and that is not acceptable by God and the Lord of the time, and is not acceptable for all of the 8 billion people who live on earth. The mission of the Lord of the time is to make enough wealth and health and beautiful life, beautiful face, especially about their own wife, so they don't need to invade other people's rights and properties and lands to access to more power, wealth and health for themselves. Inside the other world, we have many things in the face, many things is acceptable, but privately that is originated from corruption. The Lord of the time has mission to stop this abusement and corruption in the world and make equal opportunity in every subject and every field for anybody who live on earth. By obedience and accept the system of the government by Lord of the time that I will present in the Paris and make unit monetary system and many other things that I repeated over and over during the gabrielism series of the teaching my knowledge. We will make equal opportunity for anybody, so there is no regret and there is no sorrow, or nobody is angry or unhappy why he burned inside Iran or India or Africa. We will make equal opportunity to access more wealthy, healthy, happy, beautiful life for everybody who live on earth. Just let me few seconds, I see my note and add if something is good. So the summary of the discussion, we have limitless number of the cosmoses, and this is one of the principles of the gabrielism. So we live in one of these cosmoses, and this cosmos is one of the multiverse, and multiverse are in the greater ocean of other multiverse. And as soon as the Lord of the time get on the board, this ship, other total cosmos, start to move inside the ocean of the cosmos. Other cosmos start to travel to the source. And the mission of the Lord of the time, or Imam Zaman, he is the leader. or sailor of these ship and take all of the human beings that live on earth toward the source of the creation that we say Allah, or the God of the gods. So, I told about the mentality of the people, and everybody has a right to be beautiful, and the philosophy of the Gabrielism will lead to science of the Gabrielism. Science of the Gabrielism will make it possible every girl to be equally beautiful as other girls. So the competition between men, especially those who can't control their own sexual relationship and pleasures and do a lot of divorce to have or access to more sexy girls, this very competition that will ruin the society will be over, and we will see stable families in the world. And another very, very important subject that I want to speak about is feeling fortunate. Feeling fortunate is feeling real happiness. You see, a lot of rich people, they are rich, they have money, but they don't feel real happiness in their own life. And Gabrielism, and that is also the mission of the Lord of the time, to make real feeling of the happiness, not just feeling, because by drinking a little alcohol, you can make yourself happy temporarily, but that is not real happiness. Real happiness is inside your heart, inside your mind, and everybody must have a good environment, or for example, a good conditions to feel real happiness. Real happiness will be at the time that you have a beautiful wife, good children, good family. You are happy really beside your members of the family, and plus other things like good car, good house, etc., and other things that we don't want to explain in these sessions. So if you drink a cup of the vodka, you feel happiness, but anybody who look at you, maybe he think that you are not really happy. You just drink, and you use sometimes drugs or narcotics to forget your miserable life and the miserable events that happened during your life. Whatever that was wrong and happened for you in your life, that is just because of the selfishness of the men who were looking for more beautiful girls. So your father got alcoholic, your mother divorced, your father, the family broke up, and you experienced hard times in your life. All of these disasters is just that the families that, especially in many countries, you see, they want to change the mother of the family, and they want to change their wife to get access to more young and beautiful girls, and they do everything, cheating other people, doing a lot of illegal, not just illegal, not deserved actions, and they make trouble for themselves, for their societies, and all of the families will separate. All that is because of the dopamine and the Varank culture, that not just Varank culture, because that is your nature, that is your instinct, and you can't do anything about that. 99% of the men absolutely will surrender and forget every honesty and every righteousness at the time that they think if they cheat others, access more money, and new young girls will be in their life to make more sexual pleasure. So the sexual pleasure is governing on the world, and the mission of the Lord of the time is that to make equal pleasure, that is very important, equal pleasure for all of the peoples who live on earth. So the Lord of the time is, or Imam Zaman, is distributor of the happiness equally and based on justice. You see in the movies a luxurious life of the celebrities, and I don't want to continue, but I want to say that 8 billion people deserve to live like that, and the Lord of the time bring new source of the wealth for all of the nations. There will be enough good foods, good wife, good car, good house for everybody if you publish the philosophy of the gabrielism that will lead for you to access limitless treasures. That is the God-given gift for all of the humankind. But if you want to continue this varying worldwide disorder, you will see the pain, the unnecessary pain and hardship of the life for people. You see what will happen. The life for Europeans gonna to be hard day by day, more than ever, and this is the same in other places in the world. Americans gather taxes to send weapons for Ukraine. The topmost rich factory of the weapons gonna to be more rich because they choose this Lucifer way, and they want everything for their own self, and that is not justice. While God will give you enough resource to divide equality between all of the nations, equally happiness, beauty, wealthy, happy life, and real feeling of the happiness for 8 billion people. So stop any war and come to the agreement of the permanent peaces, and make it possible for me to come to Europe and accept Europe as the capital of the world. We will go there, and by help of the lawyers will write a united constitution for all of the nations. Then I will describe the mystery of the gabrielism that I told that was not possible explain for people at the time of Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. That was so much difficult for God to explain for uneducated people. But now I think people are enough educated to understand the sophisticated concepts that explain the reality of the world and what is the truth beyond our observation. If our cognitive system is correct or wrong, and if that is correct, if our cognitive system make us possible to understand all of the existence, all of the beings in the world or not. In other words, if everything that exists that we don't know if yes or no, for example, about God, we don't have any cognitive system or perception tools or devices to help us to see God. If that is our cognitive system failure, and if that is yes or correct, what can we do for ourselves to about development to our cognitive system? That is very, very important. If whatever we observe is correct and exists, and if there is some other existence or beings that can help us or communicate with us, and we can't perceive them because of our limitations, and especially limitation of our cognitive system or not. The philosophy of the gabrielism, that is so much sophisticated, make it possible to us to develop our cognitive system, and I am not joking. Our cognitive system is possible for us to make evolution to our cognitive system, just like our physical body got evolution during the history. The same that is possible about our cognitive system. We can improve our cognitive system. We can improve our genius, our mental powers, our power of the concentration, about other abilities that will be introduced for you by philosophy of the gabrielism. Thank you for listening. Thank you all of the broadcasters. God bless you all.